Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be going over the January 1st ban list together. This is actually the first time I'm checking this out, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. But let's go ahead and go in reverse order. Let's go to everything that's at 3 and then, go back. So first off, we have Fire Formation Tanky at 3. Are you crazy? Oh, well, okay. They've been trying to push Wujin so hard, so I can kind of understand why. But we have to see what happens to Fire Fist Spirit, because that's what really makes Fire Fist, so OP. Now we have Concealer M7. The next card! It's at 3. It's Tour Guide! Yes, thank you. I love this card so much. I just put Tour Guide in everything. Like, if you guys have seen my old school Mermail deck, when there was a lot of testing going on, I played Tour Guide in my Mermail deck. Tour Guide was the best card. Tour Guide and BLS go in everything. I hope they didn't hit BLS, but I doubt it. Anyways, Tour Guide at 3, that makes me super stoked. Okay. I love you guys for that. Okay, next up, TG Striker at 3. That card should have been at 3 forever. Where's Best CRA at 3? Because that card would probably do nothing as well. Next, we have Mizuki and Plague Spreader. Remember, guys, I made a video on it a week or two ago where they were talking about the hints towards the ban list. And they definitely added Mizuki, and they definitely put Plague Spreader at 3. So that's pretty good. Next up, we have Archord Chrissy at 3. Agents, they kind of fell off the face of the earth simply because, okay, why is Earth at 2? And to top that off, I think isn't it still at 2? Anyways, but we also have, this card called Evil Storm Ophion, which is no, you can't even play half of these decks anyways. So hopefully they'll do something to that, but I have no idea. I mean, they already have XYZ Encore. That was kind of their card to hit that deck anyways. Next up, alright, so we got, Reborn Tango at 3. Okay, we have Lone Fire Blossom at 2. Unfortunately, Dandelion probably won't go to 2, but this will probably be support for the newer plants, because Dandelion going to 2 or Glow Up Bulb coming back would support the older plants, and they obviously want to push the new plants, so I understand that kind of choice. And I think it still technically helps older plants, but it's not going to be the plant synchro deck that we all, enjoyed. Well, pretty much just me. But next up we have for cards that are limited at to 1. Okay, next up we have Spellbook of Fate. Okay, that's an interesting choice. I understand why they put it there, because, it's basically they're out to everything. It's you have that card? No. This is my Solemn Judgment right here. So I understand why they put that card to 1, but at the same time, the way I see that is, there's so many cards at search, unless they hit, Spellbook of Secrets, because they have Spellbook of Secrets at 3, they have Spellbook of Master at 3, they have Spellbook of Eternity, they have the Tower to reset cards. They have so many searching to where, does that really matter if that card is at, 1? We'll have to see. I mean, I know they're kind of trying to push Spellbook because they're reprinting a lot of the stuff anyways, like Spellbook of Master, as well as High Priestess of Prophecy. Next up, we have Final Countdown? What? Konami, you're going backwards on this. You're no more troll decks. Okay, that's cool. I support it. I like to see diversity in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But if any of you guys have played against Final Countdown, it's just painful. And the other player that's playing Final Countdown is, Battlefield, Swift Scarecrow. They're just laughing at you the whole time. And then you're just oh my god, please don't have an answer, because I'm going to OTK you every single turn. But you can't, because, they obviously stopped that. Next up, we have Tidal, Tempest, Redox, and do we see Blaster? Ooh, we have Blaster, so all the dragons are at 1, so that deck is pretty much not playable. And I don't even know if it's viable as a splashable card anymore, because now that I'm looking at this, it's it at 1 it still helps certain decks, but the thing is, I think at 2 would have been good, or even if they had some type of rule where it said you could only play 2 dragon rulers, regardless of what color they are, you can only play 2. That way you can't really make the dragon ruler deck. But if Dragon's Ravine is still at 3, I don't know. With the Mythic Dragons, there might be someone that actually pull it off. They have Divine Wind of Mist Valley, but who cares about that? No more shenanigans with the Harpy Dancer. But you know what's funny, guys? Hold on. Stratos is still. Are you kidding me? Stratos is still banned. Why? Why is Elmchatter Stratos still banned? Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. On that, I'm not banned. I mean, I'm glad that they hit Dragons. That's the deck that pretty much everyone wanted to hit. But next up, we have Magician of Faith coming back into the game. But I don't really think there's that many cards that you can abuse that hard. I mean, the card that every deck can use is a Dark Hole, and Magician of Faith is already a slow card. So if you need to set it to get back a Dark Hole to reestablish control over the game, it's too slow at that point. But we'll have to see what other cards get hit. I also saw Sacred Sword of 7 Stars. Yeah, that card was also there. I don't know if there's going to be more decks that support level 7 monsters in order to be able to use Sacred Sword, but draw power is kind of ridiculous in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it puts an unfair advantage for certain decks, because some decks have no draw power, and some other decks have way too much draw power, and Dragons were kind of that deck anyways. So yeah, Magician of Faith coming back. That card only determines itself by the amount of good spell cards in the game. And at the moment, I really don't see there being anything that's super abusable, like a Pot of Greed or something like that. That's really, really abusable. And we also have Debris Dragon at 1. I mean, that potentially could be because they don't want the new plants using it. I don't know if they can go into like a quick Black Rose, but I guess they don't want to support the older playstyle of one card Black Rose. So I guess that's the reason for that, perhaps. Next up, we have cards that are banned. So we have Sixth Sense. Okay, that was the card players wanted, and we also have Self-Destruct button. Konami's ruining these troll decks, which I think is good in one aspect, but Self-Destruct button isn't that's a tie card. It's not like a win card. So I guess it makes competitive players happy. I mean, no competitive player would probably want to lose to that, although I think it'd be hilarious to see that card go off, but it's part of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we have Return from the Different Dimension. Now, that's an interesting choice. They already hit dragons really hard, but if Ravine is still at 3, I mean, maybe they can make the deck kind of viable. But the thing is, I thought Return from the Different Dimension would have honestly saved guys because they are trying to push Light and Dark really hard, and they're also trying to push this whole Chaos theme, because we have Chaos for now at 2. We also have the Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Twilight. That's coming out, so I thought that Return potentially might have stayed, but that's a good move. That is like an OTK card, and I don't like one card OTK cards. I think those are kind of unfair, regardless if it's like late game or early game. Nothing hit from Mermail so far, so I'm kind of liking that because I kind of like the playstyle of Mermails. And then we also have, never mind guys, they hit Dragon Ravine. What? Okay, the card is really OP, let's be honest guys, because there are certain decks, like I said, that just have no draw power, and that card is not only draw power, it lets you set up your graveyard and all that other good stuff, so they really hit dragons to the point where they don't want dragons playable. And it kind of sucks for the Dragoonid players, because it wasn't the Dragoonides' fault that Dragon Ravine got hit, it was the Dragon Rulers. And the thing is, with Dragon Ravine going down to 1, how are they supposed to be pushing the new reprint of Vajrayana? Like, no one really wants to play, I wouldn't want to play Dragoonides if Dragon Ravine is at 1. That really, really hurts the deck. But technically, it might be considered at 2 because they have Magician of Faith. But then you lose your normal summon to make the first turn, the Stardust Dragon that you want to make every single turn for the players that want to make Stardust Dragon. Man, that's crazy. That is so crazy that they hit that card. That was a card I'm totally blown away by. First of all, why is Stratos? Stratos is still banned, right? I'm not crazy, right? Element it's E-Hero Stratos. Elemental Stratos still on the ban list. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. But, I could really care less about that, to be honest with you guys. I've played E-Heroes to the point where, I had my fun with E-Heroes. But Tour Guide, that card is at 3. I'm so excited just to put Tour Guide back into everything. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that Sangan Search. What are you guys going to play for your other guys' Tour Guide target? That's one question I have for you guys. The other question is, what deck are you going to be playing, or what decks do you think are going to be good? Looking pretty good for Boojins right now. I mean, nothing was hitting Boojins. They gave a boost because Tenki is out. Nothing got hit in Lightsworn. Nothing got hit in Girya or Girya/Karakuri. So the decks that I think are going to be good, guys, Boojins. I don't know if you guys have checked out the new Boojin support. I still need to make my video discussing about all the new Boojin support because Konami's like, keep on pushing them Boojins. We gotta make them like the best deck. Like, they keep on releasing more support to the deck to the point where I think they're just gonna continuously release support for Boojins until that deck is like so high tier that you can't play anything. Because honestly, they keep on pushing Boojins so hard. But like I said, Boojin's looking pretty good. Firefist looking kind of better with more tanky, but Spirit is kind of the card that they were looking for. I think some variants of Chaos might be okay. But as far as like the top tier decks, for me, this is my choice for top tier decks. Lightsworn, hands down, Lightsworn. Nothing got hit. That deck's getting way more support. The new Lightsworn Ferris card, that card is absolutely ridiculous. And on top of that, all of, like the Raiden, there's just so much support for that deck. And it's going to be a budget deck, so there's going to be a bunch of players playing that. So I think that Lightsworn will be a very, very popular deck just because it's going to be really easy to run and stuff like that. Also, Giryas. Any variant of Giryas, whether it's just regular Giryas, whether you're playing the double summon variant, that some of the OCG players are playing this double summon gadget Girya deck. There's also the Machina Girya gadget deck. There's so many ways to play Giryas. That Girya gear where it's like that trap card, you set it, you flip, and you get 2 cards, and then you go for Girya X, and that card also got its reprint, so that card will be that deck will be kind of popular. I mean, armor is already increasing in price, so if you're looking to pick up some armors, that's a card I would recommend you to pick up because, even if that gets a reprint, it's not like a huge secret rare card, but that card is going to be pretty hot. And then Boojins, that deck is going to be a little bit more of, I would say, an expensive deck just because there's so many cards. I mean, you got to run triple Yamato. You probably would want triple Mikazuchi just in case anything happens. You can still be able to drop your monster, drop the crane, secure victory right there. But nothing really happened for Ghost Tricks. What was that? Okay, Konami, remember guys on that video I made where Konami was trying to hint us towards the ban list? They were saying it was going to be zombies. So, I mean, I was dead on about the zombies, that Mizuki and Plague Spreader would be going to 3. Boreal is still at 1, which doesn't really matter. I mean, Mizuki is much more important anyways. But they also said they said something about Ghost Tricks. I don't see anything here that supports that deck. Perhaps that they were just hinting that they're going to not hit anything from Ghost Tricks. What needed to be hit in Ghost Tricks anyways? And then, what improved Battery Men? Like, seriously, is Magician of Faith somehow to add Short Circuit again? I don't know. I have no idea what their thought process was on, like, guys, Battery Men are going to be tier 1. Like, what was their thought process on that? I don't know. Maybe they were just trolling, because clearly they don't want any trolling going on, though. Because they're like, you know what? No more Sixth Sense, no more Self-Destruct Button, no more Final Countdown. But, like I said, guys, let me know what decks you guys think are going to be good, as well as what deck perhaps you're going to be playing, or your thoughts on the ban list down below. But, anyways, for me personally, because you guys will always ask me, what deck are you going to play next for me? Here's the thing, guys. I play everything in Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't stick with one deck just because that makes the deck boring. I know some of you players don't have access to all these cards in real life. Like, pretty much for me, I can build any deck how I want in real life because I have access to it, and I know some of you guys don't have access to it. But hey, play on Dueling Network. Hey, play on DevPro. Don't be sticking to one deck. Play a bunch of stuff. That's what makes Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot more fun. And now we don't have to deal with Dragons. Dragons have, like, fell off the earth. Although, but I feel like someone's going to figure out how to make them, though. Someone's going to figure out how to incorporate the mythic dragons, and they're going to make dragons all over again. I can already smell it happening. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. But, like I said, guys, for me personally, if I had to pick one deck and stick with it, I personally feel like Burn have the most diverse playstyle. Like, they can adapt to a lot of the situations. And I think that deck, for me, I have the most fun playing that deck if I had to stick with one deck. But for me, I can't stick with playing with one deck. Like, it's just too slow, and it doesn't allow me to, like, really have a lot of fun with the game. I would consider myself more of a casual Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, although I'm a casual / competitive, because I like to win, but I like to win with, like, these awful decks. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts and what decks you guys are going to be playing, as well as what decks you guys think are going to be good. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Asian Eyes, out.